No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Conflict is hard for everyone, but we're going to talk about a book that is going to teach you techniques on how to resolve conflict and negotiate like the pros.
Let's do it. Our book review today is on a digital book by Chris Voss, and it's titled Never Split the Difference, Negotiating as If Your Life Depends on It. Now, that's a big title.
That is a really long title, but it's a great title for this book.
And tell me about this book. Did you love it or did you hate it?
I loved it. The information in this book is so practical, so hands-on, and so usable.
So you can learn to negotiate like a pro, win every argument, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, but if we're both learning it, who's going to win?
Me.
All right, so tell me what's in the book.
So this book was actually written by a guy named Chris Voss, who was a top FBI hostage negotiator. So he worked with all kinds of cases. He learned all kinds of skills. And what he does in this book is he teaches the skills that he used to negotiate hostage situations.
That's pretty intense. So, I mean, this is kind of like a hostage situation. Maybe not, but we can use those same techniques in any argument, in any, not even an argument, just in anything that you're negotiating or trying to make a deal.
You can use it in business situations. You can use it when negotiating with your spouse or with your children about bedtime. I mean, it can be really practical things that you can use these techniques for. So I want to talk about 4 different tools. Now, there was a lot in the book, and I just picked out 4. So the first one I want to talk about is, this is really a cool thing to know. So anytime you're negotiating and money is involved, like a dollar amount, how much are you going to pay, always make the other person give a dollar amount first.
That's interesting.
Yes. And it gives you an idea of where to go, and you know what the other person's thinking. And he gives really practical explanations about how you can offer a dollar amount and the other person may be thinking way less than you, and you just blew it out of the water and you didn't even know it. So always let the other person go first. That's number 1.
I like the first one. That's pretty practical and useful. What's the second one?
Splitting the difference is like wearing 1 brown shoe and 1 black shoe. And in my case, a white and a turquoise. Nobody wins when you split the difference.
No, because that's ugly. You can't wear that.
Exactly. So when you're splitting the difference, think about the 2 different shoes.
Number 2 is pretty good. What's
Yep.
number 3?
Number 3 is ask open-ended questions that start with what and how. And a good example of that is when someone says you need to do something and you respond with, how am I supposed to do that? And then you wait. Silence is golden.
Okay, so these are really practical tools that we can learn. I like the first one, make the other person give the dollar amount first. That's really practical. Second one, don't split the difference because you don't want to look like you're wearing ugly shoes. And third,
ask open-ended questions.
Ask open-ended questions. I almost forgot that. Why do we ask open-ended questions?
Because it puts the burden on the other person to answer.
Did you see what I just did? Okay, what's the 4th one?
The 4th one is the black swan.
What is a black swan?
Exactly. The black swan is anything outside of your expertise or unexpected in a negotiation.
So when you're negotiating with somebody and they throw something in there that you totally blindsides you, that's a black swan.
That's a black swan, and you need to be aware of black swans and be prepared for a black swan to show up in any negotiation.
All right, so let's bottom line this. We can't throw it in the get rid of pile because it's a digital book. It's an audio book. So can we hit delete or are we keeping this?
I'm absolutely keeping this in my library.
Good, because I need to read this and learn some better negotiating skills.
I plan on listening to it more than once because it's so good. And I highly recommend you get your copy today. In the description below will be the link where you can get your copy today. And you can learn how to be a great negotiator in no time.
So you keep the shoes, I get the 20.